All right, fellas, let's get right into it. I got my white girl coffee as per usual, but I just wanted to talk about why most men are struggling in life, why most men don't get women, have a horrible dating life. Because the reality is, most men are miserable, broke, out of shape, invisible to women. Like, that's just the reality. I used to be one of them as well, right? I used to be one of those victims. I used to be out of shape. I thought that's how life was. I thought life was, it just was how it was when I was cooked. I didn't realize until I decooknified myself how different life can be and how people treat you different, but how you can actually enjoy life and how you can actually, inspire others and things like that, right? And the reality is, when you are, cooked, when you're not the best version of yourself, when you're a loser, being a winner or becoming a winner is very daunting, but it's just unrealistic, to be honest. Like, because it usually doesn't happen because you're so stuck in that loser mindset. That's why every time you watch an anime, like an isekai anime, it inspires you because it's like magical thinking, right? Like, realistically, you're not going to die and be reborn in another world, right? And actually, to go from the worst version of yourself to the best version of yourself, or to the superhero version of yourself, you have to do a lot of work. In the isekai anime, you just die and boom, right away you are the best version of yourself. For me, I had to put in the work day in and day out. But I make these videos for people who are struggling in life, who are overlooked, because that was me. Because you're not supposed to get to the other side, right? Because there's a lot of people who watch these videos, not a lot, but a little bit of people who watch these videos, they've always been Chads, so they've always been good. They don't really, they never really struggle with anything. But when you are cooked, and your family might be like, yeah, that kid's kind of cooked. People are like, yeah, man, just don't end up like him. People are like, dang, bro, there's always that one out of shape, skinny kid trying to work out. And then when I got fat, they're like, yo, there's always that overweight dude in here lifting heavy, but he's not lean. They said those things about me, like literally had no respect for me. They'll say that shit in front of my face, especially when I was skinny. People were saying shit in front of my face like I didn't exist. I just thought that was life. I didn't realize till I got to the other side that, you can actually make a huge difference, and you could actually become a better version of yourself, and life improves in all aspects. All right. A lot of the issues that you guys have, it stems from this. All right. So the harsh reality of why most men struggle, obviously the comfort culture that we have a huge comfort culture in this country, and people chase comfort. But once you start to chase comfort, you know what I mean? Especially if you're raised by like a single mom where you have a lot of feminine influences in your life, you are going to embrace comfort. You don't realize that growth comes outside of the comfort zone. I was pretty much the same way. Not that I was raised by a single mom. I had both my parents, but um, I just didn't realize how important your appearance was and how important it was to really lock in and become the best version of yourself and be multi-dimensional, not just good at fucking book smarts. Yes, you got to be book smart, but then you got to be fit too. Yes, you got to be fit, but then you got to be actually healthy as far as like nutrition. Yes, you got to be healthy with nutrition, but then you got to also have somewhat of a social life and be able to talk and be a public speaker. All of that stuff, right? All that stuff is super important, right? So that's one thing. Another thing is the no discipline. Like I said, most men are out of shape. They're fat. You know what I mean? 70% of men in the US are overweight. However, you got people who are skinny fat too. So if you were to extrapolate that information for like people who are higher than 15-20% body fat, it'd be majority of the population. All right. Because they lack the discipline. Most people don't have the discipline. All right. And then when it comes to finances, if you don't have discipline and fitness, good luck tracking your finances, right? Because that's a very daunting task too, especially when you're not tracking your calories. They go hand in hand. All right. And obviously, there's more single men than ever, specifically because women have more optionality and they're able to be choosier, right? Because of, feminism and all that other stuff. So the average guy is just literally getting left behind. All right. So most average women don't want average men. And at the same time, most men are not even looked at by women. Like I tell you guys a lot of times when it comes to, by the way, Patreon will be in the bio, right? I'm going to be talking about online game, be talking about, making money as an online coach because people want to know that, moving to Thailand, different information, getting your credit up, just stuff I don't talk about on YouTube, and then stuff that, like, if it's anything to do with chicks and stuff like the body game stories, I don't have to like censor it out and shit like that because it's Patreon. Anyways, link will be in the description. But what I was going to say is a lot of women don't notice men, right? They just don't notice most men. Now, like I said before, I got in shape. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, everything I say, I know you guys are like, oh shit, that's kind of funny. This nigga's funny. Bro, I'm being dead ass, bro. Like, I used to get, not looking back at it, hindsight's 2020, but hindsight's funny too a lot of times. But looking back at it, I was just absolutely disrespected when I was skinny. Like, I just no respect. Women would go out their way to be like, hey, don't even look at me, right? If I accidentally looked at them or looked past them, or there was something next to them and I looked at it, they would like come up to me and be like, ew, or just like walk away. You know what I mean? So I went from that to I went from that to women wanting me, right? I literally just went to Starbucks and the lady was like, oh my God, you're so handsome. This is that. But like women desiring me because I got myself together. And the thing is, when you get yourself together, when you're really locked in, like for real shit, when you actually are on that journey, you feel different. All right. That's number one. You feel different. You emit different energy, bro. Like me and my brother, we locked in, got in shape, bro. We'll do a workout, look in the mirror, be like, well, first of all, I got a little bit more humility, but he'll just be like, yep, I'm that nigga, bro. I never need to work out again. That kind of mindset though. And then he'll treat his body right with the foods because of the results he's seeing, and it's encouraging him. But then he's also feeling better. And he's like, yo, this is the best shape I've ever been in. And I'll be the same way. I'll be like, yo, this is the best shape I've ever been in. I feel great, right? And I'm always comparing myself to my past self. So I'm improving over time. So when you're improving, right, and when you're constantly saying no to things that don't help you improve, you're gonna have higher standards. And women are gonna notice those standards, right? They're gonna be like, oh, this nigga doesn't play around. Oh, this dude's strict. Oh, this dude's locked in. Oh, this dude's disciplined, right? When you're disciplined like that, women know that you're not weak and they feel safe around you. Versus when you're fat, out of shape, you know what I mean, saying yes to everything. Women are like, I don't know, something's off about this dude. Because the confidence shit, I'll tell you this. There's about that less than 1% of the population that is naturally confident. That's awesome. I'm not striving to be that because I'm not that. I'll just be realistic. I built my confidence over time. You see what I'm saying? I built my confidence over time to the point where I was a class speaker for my nursing class, to the point where, I'm like leading thousands of people, getting their physiques better. And I'm able to talk on YouTube too, all that shit. Like, and I'm way more confident in person too when I'm having a conversation. That's because I found myself through the work. The work is where everything that you guys want comes from. It comes from the work. You got to be consistent with it, right? But like for me, when I was at my lowest point, right? Like I tell you guys all the time, when I was at my lowest point, going through the toxic breakup and just getting fat as shit, I was like, yo, I want the abs. I want this. I want that. But then at the same time, it was like, it's not just the abs. It's just like when I'm out of shape and I'm feeling sluggish, I just feel like I'm not the best version of myself, but I also have less confidence. But I hate feeling sluggish when I know I can do better, right? It's about being the best version of yourself, right? When you put the best version of yourself out there, you get the best results, period. Now, I'm not saying you put the best version of yourself out there and, you're gonna be dating Lauren London making $1 billion a year. Now I mean that is possible. Everything's possible. I'm just saying you're gonna go from literally getting disrespected to chicks to attracting chicks. You'll go from making $0 to making 10, 15, 20K a month. Shit like that. Like that can happen to you when you really lock in on your life. Because as far as getting in shape, like I know you guys seen videos where people say, "Oh, I got in shape and now I made a career out of it," blah blah blah, stuff like that. But when you do get in shape, it takes a certain mentality and it takes discipline and toughness, and that's why people respect it. If everyone could do it and it wasn't respected, then obviously nobody would give a shit. But it's very, very hard to do consistently, which is why people respect that shit. All right, which is why I practice why I don't practice what I preach. I practice what I practice and then I just preach about it. That's what I do. All right. Because practicing what you preach, like I always say, is very stressful. You'd have to be like, oh shit, I said I'll do this, I'll do that. No, I'm literally just living and then telling you guys shit that I used to not know about being lean, right? Because it's all about what you eat. I order Starbucks just like fat people do. I eat chicken just like fat people do. I just eat different cuts and I know my calories and I know my intake. Very, very, very simple shit. All right. But another thing is, man, like when you work on yourself, you're gonna have higher testosterone as well. You're gonna feel better when your testosterone is elevated, right? The easiest way to tell is you wake up with morning wood and you have more energy when you wake up, right? You don't feel sluggish all the time. Like that's the easiest way to fucking tell that your test is going up. Like it's literally that simple. I know a lot of people want to overcomplicate it. Yes, you can get your numbers tested and shit like that, but that's some of the easiest examples, right? But when you're constantly working on yourself, doing what you need to do, eating what you need to eat, your test is gonna be higher. You're gonna have more ambition, more energy, more muscle mass. Period. All right. But another thing about why women love fit guys is because the self-respect, the self-control you have over yourself. A lot of times, women will see me and they'll be like, "Well, I know you don't eat this. I know you don't eat that. Because you're so fit. Oh my God, you're so fit." Shit like that. Like they respect that shit because you're not getting muscle overnight. That's number one. Number two, you're not leaning out by just guessing. They know that you locked in on your nutrition. They know that when people are like, "Hey, yo, you want some cookies?" Or "Hey, yo, I'm sending you over, some candy," you said no to it. They know every time you go to a pizza party, your ass ain't eating pizza. They know you're not drinking every day on the weekends, right? You're disciplined, your schedule is locked in, right? And you respect yourself and you hit the gym, but you hit it intentionally. They know you're intentional with what you do. When you're intentional with what you do, you get further than everybody else. Period. All right. In reality, everybody, all right, All men. We all know the work. You see what I'm saying? We all know the work. We know what to do as far as the work. Niggas ain't willing to do that shit, right? The amount of times I have people tell me shit like, oh shit, man, like, man, it must be easy for you, man. You just got them genetics, bro. You just got them, it must be easy for you. It's like, nigga, shut your ass up, bro. You know you're just not locked in the gym like I am. That is the difference in the gym. And then when you get to the kitchen, you don't pay attention to what you eat. Most people be like, yeah, man, like, I eat, all I eat is salads and I eat, this is that. Why the hell are you fatter than me, bro? The fuck? When's the last time I ate a salad? Nigga, I ate 2 salads in the past 10 years, bro. No, probably 5 salads. I ate 5 salads in the past 10 years. All right. It's not about eating a fucking salad once in a while. It's about your overall calorie intake, and it's about doing things intentionally. Like I see that shit all the time. People are like, nah, man, I run 10 miles a day, man. I should be lean, but I just got bad genetics. No, you're not intentional what you do. And after you run 10 miles, you eat 10 pounds of Wingstop, bro. So like that's holding you back. All right. Like a lot of people aren't ready for, building. How long does it take to build a bicep? How do you get your quad bigger? How do you get your shoulders bigger? How do you see the V cut? How do you see this? How do you see that? Repetition, repetition, repetition. Y'all ain't ready for that shit though. Like a lot of people will say like, man, I got stubborn fat. No, you don't. You got stubborn habits. Shut that shit up. Just keep cutting and you are going to lose, you're going to lose that excess, stubborn fat. It's going to happen. All right. But you're just not patient enough. You've been eating like shit for 10 years, gaining half a pound every week for 10 years, which is about 60 to 70 pounds, and then when you lose 10 pounds in a month, you're like, yeah, it's not happening fast enough. Yes, it is. It's happening 10 times faster, bro, if not 20 times faster. So stay locked in, man. You got to make that identity shift, man. Most people don't want that. People want the shortcuts. The reason people want shortcuts is they want to be in the same mindset, and they want to be in the same mindset they're in, but get the results. That's why they'll say shit to me like, hey man, you lucky, bro. You lucky. You lean. No, I'm not lucky, nigga. Luck only gets you so far. Intention gets you anywhere you want to go. Period.